Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Sunday Reset video. I'm super excited that you're joining me today. In today's video we've got some cleaning, some organizing, and some overall getting ready for the new week. So let's go ahead and get started. As usual, today in this Sunday Reset, I am getting started in the kitchen. My kitchen is the room that seems to get the most dirty, disorganized throughout the week, and so this is where I like to start. I usually start by making sure that the dishwasher is unloaded and ready to have all the dirty dishes put in. I also make sure that the refrigerator has been cleaned out. And on this particular day, we were actually having friends over for dinner, so I did have some extra groceries there on the counter. I didn't want to put them all away since I was going to be using them later, but I do end up organizing those a little bit. But I'm just getting started today by unloading this dishwasher. I have mentioned in previous videos that I try to run it every evening. The problem with that is my nighttime eaters, my husband and I included, tend to make more dishes, and so it just ends up with a full sink in the morning anyway. But we had a lot of dishes this night. Michaela had a friend over for a sleepover, so we had extra dishes. They had made some brownies, so I needed to clean that up. I'd done a lot of cooking the night before. She always likes for me to cook her favorite meals when her friends or her boyfriend come over, so I always try to have a good menu lined up. I just have a ton of cleaning in this kitchen to do, so that's what we're going to get started with today. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Tiffany. I am a mom of five, a working mom of five. I'm an elementary school counselor, and my husband Danny is a special education teacher at a middle school, and we live in the New England area. We are brand new into our home. We're actually brand new East Coasters, so super excited you're joining us today. And if you are a returning subscriber, I am so thankful you guys are here. This has been such a fun journey watching the channel grow over the last 2 months, and I'm just so excited you guys are here with me. This little soap dispenser was purchased at Target. I do believe that it's meant to be used in a bathroom, and it does kind of suds up a little bit when we're washing a lot of dishes and using it a lot, and so I'm constantly having to clean it off, which is what I'm doing here, and I needed to clean it off before I refilled it. I am refilling it with the Mrs. Meyer's Snowdrop scent. This is my jam. If you have been here and seen other videos, I've talked about this before. And when we moved into the house, my adorably sweet friend Anne from Las Vegas had sent me a housewarming gift with a whole bunch of different items in the Snowdrop scent. So that was the cleaner, it was room refreshers, it was also candles, and of course this dish soap. So thank you, Anne, for making sure my house always smells super good. my giant family of 7, a lot of times I run out of room in the dishwasher when we've had like a big meal or extra things that we've eaten that night. So I always try to wash the things by hand and not leave, extra stuff in the sink for the next round. The other thing is there's a lot of stuff I don't put in my dishwasher. I don't put my pots and pans. I don't put anything from my Instant Pot or my crock pot. I also don't put any bakeware or any of my knives in the dishwasher. I don't know. Something feels different about those items, but so I just try to make sure I'm hand washing all those things and getting them put away right away. And I do have a kitchen organization video. I'll have that linked for you down below. I have been trying my very hardest to keep this kitchen organized. It's not always easy because I do have my kiddos help me get dishes put away, and it's not always put away correctly. And I've also realized that there are some things that I use more regularly than I thought I would, that I had put further away from like the areas that I'm cooking the most in. And so I do think I need to do a little bit of rearranging here in the kitchen. I've got some spring cleaning ideas coming up, so I think a little bit of a kitchen reorganization is in order. I also want to give a little bit of an updated review on my white pots and pans that I purchased on Amazon. They are from Cooksmark, and although I am loving them, they are proving to be a little bit difficult to keep clean, and they are non-stick, and so I'm struggling with finding an appropriate way to keep them clean. It's taking an awful lot of scrubbing, and if I'm not the one doing it, it's really not getting very clean, and then stuff just kind of builds up. So I'm on the hunt. I may be replacing those. Stay tuned. But they are really pretty, so that's nice. And I'm just going to take a quick second before we move on to the next chore to disinfect and clean my sink. So I have mentioned in previous videos how I keep my porcelain sink clean. This sink is from Wayfair. It is a wonderful sink. If you are in the market for a farmhouse sink, I would highly recommend this one. I'll try to link it for you down below, but it's a really big basin. It's deep. I love having just the one single basin because it makes washing anything super simple. I can even fit my entire trash can in this sink. It's wonderful. But I keep it clean by regularly wiping it down. I don't let anything that has a lot of color sit in it for too long. So if we've cooked spaghetti that night, you better believe I am rinsing that thing out really, really well. And then I also will bleach it. So once I've scrubbed it down, which you just saw, I only use, dish soap. I don't use anything extra, although you could use like a barkeeper's friend or something like that. But then I'll fill the basin with a bunch of hot water and a little bit of bleach. And I'm telling you, it takes everything off, any stains. It takes off any marks from, your metal pots and pans or anything like that. It just makes it so pearly white. If you have not tried this and you have a white sink, I highly, highly recommend trying this tip. So the next item on today's checklist is to organize my spice cabinet a little bit. So I had purchased this spice rack here from Walmart. I purchased it to use in either my medicine / cleaning closet or in my laundry room, and I ended up not needing it, and I had a few extra little organization items, and I figured this would be a good time to work on this spice cabinet. It's not terrible. In fact, one side already has some risers and it looks pretty organized, but the other side was getting pretty messy. So in fact, it was actually dirty. I'm actually going to wipe it down here, but I was considering returning that riser, but I decided I'm going to put that bad boy to use and that's what I'm doing here. I'm also going to work on that second shelf there in just a second. You're going to see me doing a lot of thinking, moving stuff around. I didn't really think any of this through. I just kind of went with it. So I had to figure out how everything fit. So I move things quite a bit, but it does all find a spot at the end. The next area in the spice cabinet that we're going to work on is this condiment bin here. So I've got this blue tray from, I think, the Dollar Tree, and it was perfectly fine. It worked great. The only problem was it had a whole bunch of like taco seasonings and things like that, and a bunch of them had burst. So it was just really messy. Oh, there's a cutie in the background if you saw him. He was not dressed yet, but anyway, I had this one clear organizer left from the ones I'd purchased for the other areas, and so I figured this would be a good one to use. And it's nice because you can see what's in it, and I don't know, I just feel like it was easier to use. And then I also had like my taco seasoning packets and gravy packets and things like that. They fit so perfectly in that one. I purchased that one at TJ Maxx. I think it came in a set of 3 of them for $16. And then this little white one here that I'm trying so desperately to make things fit in is from Walmart. It's actually like $1, like 98 cents, I think. And it just has like some different chicken wing seasonings. I tried to put like my Worcestershire and sriracha, but those were too big. So just has some hot sauces, and those other items I ended up moving into the pantry. But I kept trying to make things fit. I wasn't willing to take no for an answer, but it wasn't working out. So I ended up having to move a lot of that stuff into the pantry, but I moved what I could. That right there is full of my favorite recipes, things that have been, gifted to me and everything, but it all ended up working out. It looks really nice, and all the things I use every single day are now super easy to find. I had 2 more of those little white containers from Walmart, the ones for $1. So I figured, let me just try to organize a little bit more. I had this one little space in my side pantry there that had like marshmallows and things that we were using for ice cream sundaes. And so I just put those in the little container. And then the other one that I had that I didn't end up showing, I put over in the coffee bar, and it in the drawer, and it holds our reusable K-cups. So I don't know about you, but I can get super distracted when I am cleaning. I'll move something or I'll go put something in another room and then I just get super distracted. So what happened here was I decided to get some laundry going. I was irritated with myself that I hadn't already started laundry. So I went in there, I got the laundry started, and while I was getting the laundry started, I just sat there staring at the mess and decided I might as well tackle it now. It had been snowing, like I said, and the boys had been outside playing in the snow pretty much the entire previous day. I love when it snows and they go outside and play. That's probably one of my favorite things about moving to the East Coast. We lived in Las Vegas where it gets super duper hot in the summer, which everybody always says we traded one extreme for another. But honestly, the boys have gone outside, I don't know, 10 times more than they ever did in the summer heat unless they were in a pool. Here, there's so much fun stuff you can do in the snow and in the winter that I feel kind of outweighs what we didn't do in the heat back in Vegas. So I just love living here. Every time it snows, the boys are beside themselves. So right here, you're going to see me cleaning up the mess from their outdoor play in the snow. But honestly, I'll do it 100 times a day. I'm just so happy for them. So I'm going to hang up all of their sweaters and their coats and their snow pants and put all their boots away. And then in the drawer right there in that cabinet that you see, that's where we keep all of our gloves and mittens. So I don't try to find the pair and like roll them together. I just make sure that there's two of them and then I put them in the drawer. Even if there's one, they go in the drawer because guaranteed we'll find it somewhere. And that's just an easy spot for them to find them and grab them. All the rest of their snow gear, their pants and their jackets and everything go in the closet in the entryway. So everything's just kind of right there and it's easy for them. If it's easy for them to grab it, then they'll be excited and we'll be outside way more than if they had to go hunt everything down. One of the things I was super curious about when we were researching putting down this brick floor was how the heck am I going to keep it clean? Because honestly, it's not the easiest thing to mop, but what I have found is that you don't really need to mop it. You can spot clean it, really. I've only done that twice, but for the most part, I just vacuum it a couple times a week. I do vacuum it really slowly and on the highest setting because there is a lot of grout and it's really deep. And so I just kind of move slowly and it does vacuum everything up. So don't be afraid if you want to put in a brick floor like this anywhere in your home. It is easy to keep clean despite how it looks. And now it was time to go back to what I was originally doing. I had not finished in the kitchen, but like I said, I'd gotten super distracted. So now it's time to go finish what I was doing in the kitchen. So let's talk about these dining room chairs for a minute. Remember a few videos back when I was begging for your opinions about what I should do with these dining room chairs? I was just so over all of the gray. I didn't want any more gray in the house. I wanted more warm, neutral tones, even though gray is very neutral. And I was going back and forth about whether or not I should paint the chairs black because I do love the look of a nice black chair. And a lot of you said, yes, definitely paint them black. They'll match the pantry door and they'll pull in the light fixture, which is exactly what I was thinking too. And some of you even mentioned they might not go with the rug. And you were right. It definitely does not flow for me. Here in the daylight, it's not as bad as when the lights are out, but you can't really see the rug in this shot. And if you did, you would see it makes the rug look extremely blue, and it's the same rug we have in the living room. So it's really a very neutral looking rug, but with the black chairs, it looks super duper blue. So they're not going to be staying black. My poor husband was not thrilled about it. I spent the entire day painting them because every one of those little spindles had to get painted. And it was black, so you couldn't miss a spot. It would show. But I'm going to go and refinish them. You'll see, I think I'm going to go with a natural oak color. So stay tuned for that. And right now I'm just taking out the trash and recyclables. Of course, Charlie, my dog, she panics. So when I go to work during the day and my husband's at work and the kids are all at school, she actually goes and hangs out with my in-laws for the day. She got super accustomed to us being home during quarantine and somebody being home, 99% of the time when we lived with my in-laws because they're retired. So it's just nice for her to be able to go hang there for the day. So that's what she was panicking about. She was worried I was leaving her there. You can see all the snow. Our lovely neighbor is so great. He comes and plows for us. So you see that big, huge snow pile over there on the side. I'm moving snow boots all the time, but it is so pretty. I can't wait to see this place when the leaves come in. So I know I'm not alone in this, but anytime I have people coming to my house, I feel this need to make sure the house is like extra clean, even though I know that my friends, the people that I choose to have in my life, are not going to choose to be my friend because my house is extra clean. I know that they love me for me. I know that they're here for my family, and they're very, loving and accepting, and my house does not have to be spotless for them. I also am at a place in my life where if I needed a friend and my house was not clean, I would happily open my door to them, and if they needed me, vice versa. But I don't know, there's just something about, having your home extra clean. For me, it's almost like the way I show that I appreciate and respect them is that I want to make sure my house looks the best for them and that they have a nice, cozy, and clean place to be when they come to visit. So don't beat yourself up if you're like me and you panic a lot when you have somebody coming over. It doesn't necessarily mean that you think they're going to judge you. It might just be the way that you show them that you respect and love them. And trust me, I am slowly pulling myself out of the trenches of motherhood. My kiddos are getting older. My youngest is 6 now, and they're all becoming more independent, and they're able to help me clean and pick up after themselves. But for a very large chunk of my married life, my house was a hot mess because I was just too busy being a mom. So don't worry if your house doesn't look spotless all the time. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that you care about your home any less. It doesn't mean that you're a dirty person. It doesn't mean that you're lazy or that you don't care about how your home looks. Don't listen to anybody who says anything like that. They don't know where you're at. And don't let any of these homes on YouTube make you feel like, you know, you're not doing enough, because trust me, we have all been there. And I'm going to tell you right now, every single person's house gets messy at one point or another. Don't let that get you down. Please don't compare yourself to anybody else. The last thing on today's list is to replace the wax melts in my warmer. The warmer that I use right here is from Walmart. It's from the Better Homes and Gardens collection. I love it. And that scent is actually from Walmart. It's one of my absolute favorites. So wanted to make sure the house smelled nice and good and warm and cozy before everybody came over. And that is it for today's Sunday reset, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, found a little bit of motivation, and I look forward to having you come back and join me next week. If you'd love to, please consider giving it a thumbs up, and I'd love to have you subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.